And we're back with another day of 7 Days to Die. We just finished our horde night on day 7. It went into the morning, into the wee hours. Um, and we got to clean this up. So I'm going to unload some stuff in here. Just to make space to loot. Guaranteed I'll get cold while we do this. But what are you going to do? In fact, you know what? I will keep that on me. Okay. how's it going? Private Ryan's private. How's it going? Sure. Give me a second to finish looting these corpses. We just had a 7-day horde night last night. I haven't. Usually, I'm building my real base in the first week, but I lost my last one to an MD5 error. I don't know if you're familiar with the Xbox version, but we've got this nasty bug that when the game crashes, it will delete your base, essentially. I mean, I didn't lose my whole base, but I lost one of the important parts of it. And it was kind of an involved base, involved a lot of digging. It was a bunker. It was all underground, pretty much. Had a drop pit and whatnot, and it's kind of involved to build, and I kind of just don't have it in me to do the same thing again. So I decided to go a completely different direction on this one and just, do things that I normally don't do, like at the start of the game, like, loot first instead of building and that kind of thing. So I don't really have a whole lot really going on at the moment. Just, typical, pretty fair, I'd say probably fairly typical, first week stuff. Just I'm set up in a house here in this little town I'm in. Got some storage and a campfire and a forge. And this is like a temporary horde base. Usually I use this for like my first 2 hordes while I'm building my base. Just a simple catwalk base. I usually don't do these these blocks here in the middle. It's just catwalks all the way around, and I mean you can defend the first horde at least, and probably the second unarmed. You could just aggro them. They aggro on horde night anyway. They come after you, so you can if you just circle this thing, pretty much the spikes will kill them. But I snipe from up there, of course. It's good archery practice. And usually this will hold up through the second horde. I've never had to use it past the second horde. Although maybe when I was a newbie I had one like this, not exactly like this, like the early version of this. I think I might have gone to the third horde in it. While I was, and usually I just use this while I'm getting my real base up and running. But this time I'm not building anything. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this, and I might see how far I can go with this. Probably upgrade the spikes. Eventually have to make this, the blocks concrete. Maybe upgrade the catwalks to iron. I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm not a big fan of it. It's kind of boring, and you can't really loot from up there, obviously. And I don't know. We'll see. Like I kind of like for science want to see how if I can how far I can take it, and like see if I have a way of killing cops, if I manage a hunting rifle or a sniper rifle or something, or maybe I've got the crossbow schematic and explosive bolts, if I can take them out at distance with something, some kind of ranged attack, I can keep cops away from blowing this thing up. I don't know. I'm kind of curious about it, but on the other hand, I'm also kind of eh, like while I was up there during this horde, I always remember like why I'm ready to get out of this thing after the second one. You know what I mean? It's just kind of boring. It's really not much to it, and it's not really a real base. It's just a way, the beauty of this is just, you can be doing anything else during the first 2 weeks and just use this to take care of your hordes. It's cheap. If you don't do these center blocks, I think the whole thing costs you, 100 stone, no, excuse me, 200 stone, 200 clay for the cobblestones, some plant fibers, and wood. And on console, our wood system hasn't been retuned the way it has been on PC. We get boatloads of wood from cutting trees, so it's just I don't know. I'm kind of the case you can't tell. I'm just kind of after losing that base. It drives me crazy. It's the second one that's happened to. Both of them I was streaming and putting on YouTube. And I've had 2 seasons of this game ended by the stupid, base deletion bug. It's called an MD5 error, some kind of memory error that causes it to reset chunks. And typically it's either the chunk you're in or the chunk your bedroll is in, or both. Nobody's entirely sure. But it sucks. And I'm a little, just kind of ambivalent about the whole thing right now. Like, I'm really into the game, but it's just sort of like, it's just one of those things where it's like, how, like I'm sitting here like not building, which is my favorite thing to do in this game, because it's kind of like, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like why, like play. You know what I mean? I kind of want to play something else, but I'm really into this too, and it's just this fucking bugs. Yeah, your first solo base. Do you play on Xbox also? Very cool, very cool. It's a freaking amazing game, and and people rag on the console versions because it's not nearly as updated. It doesn't perform as well, and doodah is the PC version, but it's still a really freaking great game, and it's actually really good on console. I mean, it could perform better, and it's definitely behind in content compared to the PC version. All of that. But if you don't compare it to the PC version, it's still a freaking great game, and it's relatively bug free. It's a little glitchy at times, but that's I think has more to do with the performance issues than anything. Um, it's a great game. It's just that freaking MD5 error that resets your base is like a real serious turd in the punch bowl. And it's taken them years. This like I just started playing last summer, almost just about a year ago. I think it was like August when I started. And and that it predates me even. I mean it's like apparently this bug has been on with like I think it was on all versions for a while, and then they fixed it, but they never were able to fix it on Xbox, and it's just they just left it, and it's just like, okay, we'll get to it when we get to it. I mean, it's like, I mean, what the hell? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the whole point of the game is building bases, and you lose your base. I mean, yeah, yeah, that's what happens. I think I like it. It knows the map seed, and it just reverts that chunk. Chunks are like, like I think it's like 14 by 14 blocks. All the way from bedrock all the way to the sky. And yeah, like when my first one got nuked, I had a pillar base. Say like in the middle of a field right here, like it was just an open field with grass and everything. It looked just like it did, presumably. I don't remember exactly what it looked like when I cleared it, but it was just an open field with like all of my spikes and everything left. I mean, it's just freaking unbelievable. This last one was underground, and I had a horde base, and then kind of coming off of that, like close to bedrock, like off to the side, I had a production room, and then a big entrance going in up top, and like an entrance area. And I got the bug. I was underground when the game crashed, and I did all the precautions. I like deleted my my local save data, did a hard reset on the console, let it all sync back up to the where am I going? I always think that's the place next to my house, and it's not. Um, I did a hard reset on the console, let the cloud save sync up to it, and came back in, and it's 3 a.m. and now I'm above ground, and I knew that I had the MD5 error, so I got on and I checked. The whole horde base was still there. Everything else was still there, and I get out of the production room, and it's just a wall of stone. After I walked in the door, like just that chunk got reset. No, I think it reverts. No, no, no. Everything's gone. It just goes back to the original state of that chunk. Like I said, a chunk being like they're either like 14 by 14 or 16 by 16 sections of the map. Basically, the whole map's broken into chunks, essentially. You know what? I'm just gonna run this stuff up, just because I'm just gonna have to move it again. So, anyway, so this is the POI I'm holed up in. Yeah. We had a couple of, there have been like 3 or 4 patches since I started playing a year ago. One was the big one where we got the new POIs, which was cool. I think they're great, and I have a lot of fun with them, and I think it's great that they've added stuff to the game. But like, they're like, there was a couple we got that were like all bug fixes, and it was like, oh, but we're not fixing the MD5 error yet, and it's like, like, but we've tracked down what causes it, and we're getting closer. Ah, oh, damn it! I meant to leave those over at the thing. It's like you would think. Like I've never seen any of these bugs that they fix in these patches, and you would think that if your game had this particular problem that this one does, wouldn't fixing the big nuclear bug be your priority? I mean, just throwing that out there. Sorry, I've been up all night. I couldn't sleep. I was gonna crash and then I couldn't sleep. So I decided to do another stream. And I'm a little grouchy. Cuz I'm actually kind of digging this playthrough a bit, but at the same time, it's like I really dug that base I had. I really loved that game I was in. I had all purple everything. You know what else, you know what kills me is I could have salvaged that game because the horde base with the massive pit drop that I did, which worked fantastically, was still intact. I had all my tools and gear on me, most of my tools. I think I lost, like, as far as my hand tools go, I lost like a shovel and a claw hammer. No big deal. I had most of my steel and iron on me. I had refilled those, just getting ready for the next day. I had a full stack of steel, a full stack of iron, and I had nothing I needed to build with steel or iron really at that point. I could have dug that room back out. I mean, there was still plenty of wrenchable stuff all around town. Plenty. I still had all but one floor of a ostrich hotel still available. I could have gotten all the leather and pipes needed to put all dozen forges back up, and there was plenty of mechanical parts for cement mixers. All of it could have gone back together. But you know what? Here, I'm gonna pause this because I'm just sitting here ranting, and while this timer runs. You know what the bitch of it was, though? My whole gun collection was in there. I had just spent 2 weeks collecting gun parts and combining them, and I had like either purple guns of every type or like about to be like blue or almost blue. You know what I mean? I think the 44 was like green still, but like and the shotgun. That was the one of a couple of books that I hadn't gotten was the shotgun book. But I had multiple 600 quality parts for shotguns for whenever it was I got the book. And it took me like 2 game weeks to get all of that together, and I had looted everything. I was gonna have to wait another month or go find new towns to replace all that, or to get new gun parts, and it was just like done. I'm just gonna start a new one. I mean, there's just really just no freaking. I don't know. It's just disheartening as hell, and it's a pain in the ass. Because I was and what's weird is I was surprised at how soon it hit too. Like I got it. I started getting crashes on day 34, and then my horde night crashed. I got like 2 nights in a row. I got crashes, and uh, and then I didn't. I think I had like one more for the over the following like 3 or 4 days, and then the one on like night like going into day 39 was the one that nuked it. The one I got before, I was in the 70s. I was like 72, 73, something like that. Yeah. Oh, see, that's the other thing. I had a blue auger. I had two purple nail guns. They all got nuked because they were in storage in there. And I got a blue machete from the trader. I was gonna start putting a machete together. Like get a few more and up the quality on it. It's like I had like everything, not just everything, but like on its way to being really good of everything too. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, so So yeah, I'm a little salty about it, and it's mostly right now just because of lack of sleep, and I'm a little grouchy at the moment about it. Because I feel like I'm kind of like I'm having fun with this, like trying new stuff out, and going about it in the early game in a different way than I normally do. Not entirely. I'm still doing kind of the same stuff, but I haven't. Usually, right now, I'm already digging and building. You know what I mean. So this is kind of a big deal going the early looting route, and I'll probably build a mini bike early. I'm one of the few people like that. I don't go. Yeah, I usually have everything I need right where I'm at, so I don't really sweat the mini bike real early until I need to go someplace. I'll probably build a mini bike early. I don't know. I'm just bummed because I was really sorry. I gotta do some farming today. Day after the horde day is farming day, and I think I'm gonna expand this farm actually. But I'm just a little salty about it because I'm enjoying this. I'm doing stuff that I've always been like planned to do at some point in a playthrough, and just to try it to do things a little differently. And I'm glad I am, but like I'm not thrilled about the reason I'm doing this right now. I was really into that fucking game. Pardon my French. I was really into that game, and it just God, it's just a bite in the ass. Very cool, very cool. Well, now the good news is, like literally just like this past week, like 3 or 4 days ago, the person at the Fun Pimps, who's sort of the liaison to Telltale or whoever, or Iron Galaxy, whoever it is that does the console versions, um, posted that they are in the process of because they announced over the winter there's going to be a big console patch this year, and she gave final but they didn't give any specifics as to what it was going to be, and she gave a little bit more specifics the other day, and she said that they're in the process of updating the engine to Unity 2017, which will allow them to add a lot of features from Alpha 16, which is the current PC version. There's a new version coming very soon. There's Alpha 17 is on its way, but that is very cool for one thing, because we got kind of a simplistic version of the game. We could definitely use like the new zombie, the different zombie types, and um, the electricity system, craftable machete, stuff like that would be freaking awesome. Um, but she went on to say that it will also enable them to fix several long-standing bugs, which I take that to mean the MD5 error, because the game is relatively bug-free. It just doesn't perform very well, probably because of the engine, which is being updated, and um, so I mean, what other long-standing bugs would they be talking about? You know what I mean? So, so here's hope that fixes are coming, and a little performance boost wouldn't be the worst thing in the world either. Yeah, Yeah, my gamer tag is the same as my stream name, just without the TV. I have Maldrick TV also because I was gonna stream from that, but um, I wound up just using my personal one, and because I'm gonna do something different for my stream eventually, I think. But you're welcome to add me. Um, but I will. Where is? I thought I had some plates in here. No, no, no plates. Thought I did. Thought I did. Oh well. Let's go for. Oops. Man, I am tired. But yeah, you're welcome to add me. But I'll forewarn you now that the chances of me playing a serious multiplayer game of this before the patch is about slim to none, because it's even less stable than than single player is. Like, you regularly, I've done it. I've played it some with friends, and like the crashes come like clockwork, like just in the first couple of days. Cool, I got it. I'll add you when I finish the stream. Sort of thinking about checking out Ark. I own it. I've never played it. You ever play Ark Survival? I can't say I'm too into the whole dinosaur thing, but I'm into survival games. I'm in the mood for a survival game, but I'd like to play one that works. And not that this one doesn't. It's just like, I mean, you put hundreds of hours into these playthroughs, and then just like, it's just like, I've had 2 get nuked now, both of the ones I streamed, and it's just sort of like, well, I mean, ugh. Yeah, I want to check it out. That's why I got it. In fact, Xbox is having a big summer sale right now. Or E3 sale, I guess there is what it's for, but there'll probably be another one, I guess, around 4th of July, I would guess. Usually there is. But They had the season pass for Ark on sale for like cheapo. It's like half of what it normally was. So I went ahead and grabbed it because there wasn't really anything else I was looking at, and I'm seemingly unable to not partake of sales when they have them, and I've got a freaking library of mostly unplayed games as a result, because I'll play a game like this for 6 months on end without touching anything else. But it reminded me that I need to play Ark, and it just got me thinking about it. Maybe I'll do that later today and just kind of check it out. If it's cool, I'll stream it if I get into it. But I don't know. I'm really into this. I dig everything about this game. I like the way everything goes together. I like the flow of it. Here, I'll go ahead and do these while I'm waiting for that. I don't know. I guess that's not your usual thing. This video is gonna wind up on YouTube too, and it's like it's usually not your usual thing to be watching a stream or a YouTube video of some guy bitching about the game he's playing and talking about not wanting to play it. But I do want to play it. It's just God that I'm just tired and grouchy and freaking like I'm salty about losing that base. And it's not so much about that particular base. It's like you don't know when it's going to happen again. So I really want to build something. I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I kind of like half caught myself earlier saying, "Screw it, just build your fall pit again." But I don't know. There is speculation that the MD5 error tends to go where your bedroll is, not necessarily where you are, or if the crash happens when you're in the same place as your bedroll. So whenever I do build another involved base, like if it may not be the first thing I do, but like, and I was gonna do it on the one that just got nuked, but I kept putting it off. I had other things I wanted to do, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm building like digging down, and if I'm already dug down, I'm building a tunnel to just a room that has my bedroll in it. Like 100 blocks away, like a good 3-4 chunks away, maybe more, whatever 100 blocks is. I think that's probably like 6 or 8 chunks. Am I out of frames? God damn it. Where are my plates? Okay. I'll lay these plates down and pull these frames. And this is as big as this farm's gonna get. I have a theory also that the reason I start getting crashes so early, or like on the last one, is because I planted a pretty big tree farm, and I had like, I don't know, like 10 farm plots this size. These are all I do mine 10 by 10, so it's just easy to remember how many seeds you um yeah, it's to flatten the ground. You talking about with the frames? Yeah, it's to flatten the ground. See how the ground on the even in these flat areas, see how the ground's not entirely flat? It's kind of puffed up. It makes it completely flat. Um but I generally go big on my farms, and the reason is because that way you don't have to farm that much. You can sustain on everything you farm and not have, deal with it once a week. I had a point in one game where I only had to deal with it like once every couple of weeks. Like if you keep up with making all your food and drink, when you come in at night and just keep loads of it going, you just have tons of cornbread and goldenrod tea, everything you need. And I had heard that some people like big farms, especially big tree farms. I probably had, you know, probably 100 trees. I just planted trees everywhere I could over next to the farm just to, have convenient wood. Um, and I'd heard that people had performance problems with that. Even I'm on an Xbox One X, and the game runs really well on it. I mean, compared to how it doesn't run as well as a lot of games, obviously, because it's just borked. It's not optimized very well. It doesn't perform very well, but compared to itself, it runs a lot better on this than. Hang on. Than it did on the release Xbox, but no, it kind of like like it just sort of hosed the. To be honest with you, I don't remember. I've been doing it this way for so long. I couldn't even tell you if it does it or not. But I've never noticed any actual performance hits from it. But I have a theory that if some people are, that could be why I mean I just can't think of any other reason why I started getting crashes on day 39 other than just maybe the size. I mean, my base wasn't especially big. You could build a lot bigger. I've seen bigger, built. And it was all underground. It's not like it has to render or anything. I don't know. I don't know what the story is, but I'm going smaller on the farming this time, which is a departure for me. So this will be the extent. And the only reason I get into all that is just because I'm farming and we're talking about the the crash bug and the MD5 error. So I'm gonna do a field of. I'm gonna constantly keep a field of corn, a field of goldenrod, a field of potatoes, and then I'm gonna rotate stuff through the fourth one. Because there's a lot of stuff that I grow that you really don't always need like 100 of. Hey, Rambo, how's it going? It's going pretty well. I'm sitting here bitching about my MD5 error with our new friend Private Ryan's Privates or something. Yeah. I've been up all night. I couldn't sleep, so I decided to go ahead and stream another one. Might just press on through the day, but I'm a little grouchy. So maybe I should try to sleep at some point. And I'm crabbing about my MD5 error. Basically. Oh yeah, speaking of MD5 error and farming, you know what I had just gotten a couple days before my base got nuked? I got the beer recipe and I bought a couple of hop seeds and I was filling out a farm plot of hops. I was gonna brew beer. I'd never done that before. Still haven't done it. I grew 4 hops plants essentially from 2 seeds. The last achievement I need, besides the multiplayer ones, because nobody really does, or the PvP ones, because nobody really does PvP, because you can only have, because multiplayer is kind of screwed up. And the death ones, I just got the 100 deaths, which I thought was actually kind of cool, because I died a lot as a newbie and doing stupid stuff when I was new. That one just popped like yesterday or the day before. Day before yesterday for 100 deaths, and I think there's another one for 500 deaths. And needless to say, I haven't barely scratched that one. And then there are the ones like where you got to kill, 10 players and 100 players, and then there's some crazy one like 2,500 players or something like that. So I don't have those. But as far as normal, that makes sense achievements for console that I don't have, the only one left is the 44 one. You got to kill 44 zombies with a 44 Magnum. And I've never had a 44 until this last game. And I finally got my freaking 44. And it was on its way. I just wanted to add a few more parts to it. And I was going to go get my achievement. And denied. So what have you been up to, Rambo? How's your? You just started a new game yourself, didn't you? Didn't you tell me? Didn't you mention like yesterday? I think. How's that going? It's already almost 3 p.m. I've done no looting. I was gonna loot today, but we'll get started on it. I'd like to have this whole town looted, like, completely. I've done the major POIs, and I'd like to have the whole town looted, like all the houses, by end of the day tomorrow. In a perfect world. What's our stone situation? Yeah, we're low on stone. We're gonna have to go. You know what? That's excellent. That's excellent. That's what you want. Yeah, sometimes the maps are just screwed up. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. I I prefer random gen. I've never well, I mean I say prefer. I've never played Navisgane. I've just always done random gen. I like to have to explore, you know, and figure out the map, find everything, and then it's all different and you know, it's just new. But I keep running into this situation on my starts where like you'll have an amazing start like right out the gate, like you'll be at like, you know, like it'll be one of those like you're in burnt forest, so you get hooked up with all kinds of crazy water and jars and, you know, pipes and uh, cooking pots, you know, all the day one stuff you need, but yet you can get out of there, and then you wind up in a forest, and you get all kinds of crazy hunting done, and then you maybe find a mining helmet out of a car, you know, as you're looking for a town, and then you find a great town that has all the good POIs, but you realize along the way that the map is completely just borked. You know what I mean? Like it's just like virtually unplayable, or you know, like once aside from the town you're in, it's gonna be the biggest pain in the ass to play on that map. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm not crazy about desert starts either, but they do have their benefits. They do. They've got it like everything you need except for uh, wood. They're light on wood. Wood's a little bit of a problem in desert, but you know, you've got all that yucca everywhere. It's like free food and drink. You know, you got aloe everywhere. You can make the good bandages as soon as you need them. Guess it didn't like that spot. Yeah, sometimes they have actual like lakes and stuff out there. That happened to me on one of the ones I started when I was trying to get um when I was trying to get this one before I got this one started. I had an amazing start. It was even better than this one, and I wound up in an amazing town. Couldn't find water anywhere. This town had every POI imaginable. It had a poppin' pills which you can boost a chem table from. It had a gas station with a workbench in it that was boostable. It had everything else. Didn't have like a pool house or a motel with a pool or anything, and I couldn't find any water coming in because that's actually why I kept looking for that. Like what I was running around doing when I found the town was trying to find water. I saw no water on day one at all on this map. Yeah, sometimes. Or you wind up on a map that's just freaking all water, and you can't go anywhere like unless you swim. Like massive lakes. Like I love it when you get that the newbie quest, like the day one quest where it like where it's sending you to the trader, and it like the trader it's sending you to is like a mile across water. Not today, sir. Not today. I'm in the wrong place, actually. I thought I was. There it is. So I'm not in the wrong place. Alright, well, come over here and I'll kill you over here. I'd love to restore. I love cleaning up all this stuff. I'd love to restore a town. People have done that, like gone in and restored POIs. You know, like houses and stuff. You know, put real. You know, put good lights up on the streets and everything. Like kind of like restored whole sections of the hub city and stuff like that. But I mean, we can't even reliably build a base on without it getting nuked. Like, how's that gonna work? So when Private Ryan got here, he asked me to give him a tour of my setup. So, and I did, but there's really not much set up. You know, it's pretty standard first week stuff, and I'm being slow about it. This is slow for me before getting started building because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. Private Ryan, if you want to see my most recent real setup, and this will eventually be real, but I'm approaching it differently. But if you go on my channel page, there's a link to my YouTube channel. If you go look at season 2 of 7 Days to Die, the bunker, that was my last one, and it was pretty freaking sweet. That's why I'm so salty about it. I mean, I'm not like really like completely upset. I'm just annoyed because it's not just that base. It's like you know, what other base is it gonna happen to? It's happened to 2 now, 2 in a row for streaming. But yeah, it's on there, and I think the VODs are still up on Twitch also, in my recent videos or whatever that is. 6 o'clock. Yeah, that's awesome. I've never, it's funny because I got one on this one too. It's a really nice one too, I think out of the working stuffs. And I'm not really sure what to do with it. Because I like my weapon, I like my axe, I like my pickaxe. What do you really use a sledgehammer for? I know there's some perks you can get that makes it break through stuff easier and whatnot. Is it just a way of like saving space on your hotbar and kind of combining two things? I watched like, a decent amount of streamers and a bunch of YouTubers who play this game. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've seen anybody really use a sledgehammer. I don't know, maybe I should give it a try. I'm not suggesting there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, like, you just don't see it that much. And I never really find a way to fit it in what I'm doing. Have you ever used a sledgehammer? I did when I was a newbie. Because it seemed cool and I got a good one. But I don't remember how it went, to be honest. You know what? I've got that one. I might have to give it a go. Yeah. You know what? Maybe we'll test that when the sun goes down. But there's a gun safe in the house that I haven't opened yet. We'll try it out. got so many points. I wanted to look. Concrete's 30 and steel is 30. And I gotta get construction tools to 40. And they're at 20. Kind of thinking maybe a couple levels of miner 69er might be in order. I didn't do it before because that's usually like the first thing I do because I'm usually digging. You know, as soon as I get my 3 levels of Tyrannosaurus and a level each in the food and drink one just to kind of take an edge off of it and give you a little wellness boost, I go full miner 69er until it's you know, all 5 points. So I guess kind of trying to do things differently in this one. I didn't do it, but it helps with so much. It helps with everything. Anytime you swing an axe or a pickaxe, it helps with that. So it's been so long since I've built one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you need a workbench to build a mini bike, don't you? I can't remember all the parts. Like, you have to build the handlebars and a workbench, I think, right? As far as streaming goes, the mini bikes, the death knell, because every time I'm about to build one, you know, on a stream game, that's when I get the MD5 error. Oddly enough, usually within like a day or two of building a mini bike, the game gets nuked. Okay, so that one's out of the way. What did that do for our stone? You know what? I might do another level of miner 69er just to do it. Do 2 more. What is that? Where does that leave my points, actually? That's alright. Cleaning up nicely. Yeah, this is much better. I may have to build a workbench. I don't know. I kind of like to loot one, if I can. I'll have to find another town. That other town over to the east that we found doesn't have a garage with a workbench. There's a 4-way that I found on day 1, and it's got the garage, but it doesn't have a workbench. We gotta go. Time to go indoors. What do I do on iron? But enough. And we're really pushing. Oh shit, I'm on the wrong side of the house. Right now is when if it's like that other game, right now is when a wandering horde shows up. Pardon my French. All good, all good. That's all much faster. It's nice and chunky. Hey, Nonstop Gamer, how's it going? It went pretty well. By the way, I was so focused on getting everything I was doing done last night before that horde. I missed your chat. I was not paying as close attention to chat as I should. Until later, I was on the PC doing my downloads and I saw it. But yeah, no, the reason I never did multiplayer, never said anything about doing multiplayer was because after that game I was streaming you were watching before ended in an MD5, I kind of like stopped playing the game for a few months. It was just a few weeks ago that I got back to it. And also, multiplayer is like super unstable on this game right now on console, you know, because it's all peer-to-peer. There are no servers. But there's a big patch coming this year, so hopefully they will fix that, and we can get into it sometime if you want. I think I know a few people who'd probably be up for some not PvP, multiplayer. And the horde went fine, incidentally. It was kind of uneventful, really. Just killed a horde, looted it this morning. Yeah, currently you can only have 4 people on at once on a multiplayer game on both consoles. And yet we have 3 or 4 PvP achievements. You know, I mean, it's what's your gamer tag, Nonstop Gamer? I remember I was confused about it before when we were actually talking about it because it's different than your Twitch name, and I kind of lost track. That's awesome. I think the shovels are a little faster. That's right. That's right. Do you cast Nonstop Gamer? Alright guys, well I like to reset the game at this time every day to try to avoid the dreaded MD5 error. Apparently didn't work on my last one, but I like to stick to it and take all the precautions. Which means I've got to reset the stream because I can't cast out of the Xbox without a game running. So I'm going to stop this here. I might be back shortly. It might be later this afternoon, but I might be back actually in a few minutes. I'm going to kind of relax and kind of figure out if I'm going to play some more this morning or wait until a little later. But I'll be back on today for sure, and may very well be on here in a little bit. So thanks for joining, Nonstop Gamer. Good to see you, Rambo. Thanks for stopping by as always. Private Ryan, is nice to meet you as well, and appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon.